Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Hautemess Tom and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to my channel is all about loving our makeup collections as they currently are, being critical of new makeup releases, and then just also being considerate about the makeup that we do decide to bring into our collection. And in this video, we will basically be exploring the second thing, being critical of new makeup releases. If this kind of content sounds good to you, I would love for you to subscribe here. I would love for you to leave a like on this video. And also, people seem to really enjoy these videos, so if you feel like sharing, go ahead and do that. And I also post these on Spotify if you'd rather listen to me talk about new makeup releases as opposed to watching me. But that's all up to you. So like I said, this is going to be me talking about new makeup releases. We talk about good ones. We talk about bad ones. We talk about all of them. So we're just being critical of the makeup, hence Critical Sass. I use a number of sources whenever I am doing these videos. They are Instagram accounts that do a great job at keeping us all up to date on the beauty news. So Beauty News Official is one of them. Trend Mood One is the main resource I use. Makeup Release Radar, which is more of indie brands, get covered there, and then occasionally I will use Chic Profile Official because she likes to talk about really expensive makeup, which is an interest of mine, so sometimes I like to do that. Great, it's been 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks. I think it's time for Critical Sass. I really hope it is. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop open Instagram. I saw this a little bit earlier today and I went, my eye arched up a little bit. The Blurring Balm powder is being released by Danessa Myricks. It's the Blurring Balm powder for face and eyes is being released by Danessa Myricks. This is part of the Yummy Skin family, I guess. That is the verbiage that is being used. It is being described as a texture reducing, coverage boosting, blurring balm that balances oils throughout the day while maintaining hydration. So, universal flashback. Okay. So there is a universal shade, and then there's also 10 tinted shades. Okay, so it says it can be used as a primer or to set. Easy sheer coverage. Okay, so I guess all of those words sound really good to me. I hesitate. I think I need to feel it. I need to feel it. What does that mean? You say balm, but then you say I can set with it. What does that mean? I've never set with a balm before. I've used balms as like primer. I'm into. That's when I see this now, I see primer. Primer is what primer. Primer. That's what I would use this for. I would use it for a primer. I do feel as though I don't really understand this product, and hopefully it gets carried in Sephora so I can go feel it, but this would be I hesitate to be the person who reviews this. However, I do want to be a person who watches reviews on this because it feels like something that I'm very keen on. If you're new here, I really am a big fan of the Chantecaille blurring powder. I love a blurring primer. I love a blur. Make me look like not me. 100%. That's what I want. I want a blurring foundation. I want blurring products everywhere on my face. I want to be a fucking filter. That's what I want to be. So if this provides that for me, I'd be very keen to try it. I don't know if I would go with the universal one. Well, maybe if I was using it as a primer, but I don't know. I don't know what the best route of action here is. I feel like I have more questions than I have answers at this point because is it like a balm to powder? And is that why you can use it as a setting powder? These are things I don't know the answer to. So I guess I will learn. I don't know. I'm going to talk about this because it's giving me a headache. This is from the brand Base Blue Cosmetics. It's their flower eyeshadow and blush palette, but it's all one. So it looks like I don't know if these are pressed or baked. They look baked to me, but that's probably not true because they probably pressed this shape into them, but they are like round. They look rounded. I get and I understand wanting to spice up your packaging and the presentation of your product in a way to be very eye-catching. But there is nothing worse to me than to opening up an eyeshadow palette and witnessing anything other than square pans or circle pans in a row. They had to be in a row. Because if someone sent this to me and I didn't know what the inside looked, and I opened up, I'd be like, I will never use this. And that's how I feel about this. The color story is kind of pretty. It's very springy, but it's just like there's so much packaging around it. Like all of the shadows are like kind of centralized, and there's just like so much wasted space. And we didn't need to do all that. No one asked for this. Like I said, again, the color story is kind of cute. It is pretty. It seems to be like pastel-y. It seems like there is a vision here, and there's a vision they sought out, and there was a vision that they accomplished. But I do think, and I don't like view everything from like the perspective of a professional makeup artist, but this feels like it's for children because of the presentation of it. Like I look at that and I'm like, that's for kids. That is certainly for kids. That was designed for kids because I don't know. There's like hecticness to this. I don't understand it. I don't like the pans. I'm done looking at it. I'm going to move on. NYX is, for the first time ever, is releasing a clear lip gloss in their Butter Gloss formula. Now, I'm not a NYX connoisseur, so this is news to me. They didn't have a clear one. Why did they have a clear one? I'm very much the mindset of Nisi Pisa. If you're not familiar with Nisi Pisa, she makes some great content on this platform. Also on TikTok, she's very funny. I'm not saying that as a surprising. Like she's like very funny, but why hasn't NYX had a clear one? Like she's very into clear lip gloss. I would say like if you're not releasing a clear lip gloss with your collection, I don't know what you're doing, because I feel like if your formula is good, people are gonna want it in a clear. I don't know. I don't understand why we waited so long. I just don't understand. I've been seeing this pop up a lot. The Dose of Colors Truffle eyeshadow palette. Well, it looks to be a whole collection. I mean, it's pretty. I don't know a lot about Dose of Colors or their formulas. The only thing I was ever interested in is they had like a smoky green palette that I did add to my cart a couple of times. This is like a neutral palette with some sparkles. Maybe those they look a little different in texture. They don't seem to be like a straightforward shimmer. So maybe that's what's so exciting. But like, I feel like Dose of Colors has delivered time and time again a neutral palette. Didn't they? They were like the people with the Marvelous Mauve Quint. They like released the 5-pan palettes, right? So why is this? Someone explain why this is exciting to me. I feel like that's maybe I haven't seen anything recently that I thought that I really want, other than the Danessa Myricks thing. But I just saw that for the first time today as I record. So I was a little bit thrown, but I'm just thrown by that concept. But I don't know that I'm gonna find anything else today that's gonna be like a knock it out of the park. But maybe who knows? Who knows? It's early times. It's early times in this Critical Sass. I probably should talk about this because speaking of NYX, I got this through Influencer and I have used it. So I have the Wonder Stick. I did not get the contouring one. Well, they're all contoured, but like I got a blush one. And the way they want you to use these, the contour stick, it makes sense. But for the blush, they basically want you to use the deeper blush to contour and then the other blush. And it's I think in concept, if you're someone who really wanted to try blush draping and like didn't have a blush collection to make that happen, I think this like in theory is a good idea. I haven't tried it fully yet, so I can't really speak to it, but I think because it's a NYX product, it leaves me I really like packaging. I really do. I like when it makes me feel special. I like when the packaging is chintzy and it's I mean, it's not a luxe product. It is coming from NYX. I don't think they were promising that, but like that would be my aversion to using it, but that's personal. But I've only tried the product on once and I had no issues putting it on. So there's that. And I did like the shades a little bit, but I have been, since I got it, I also received a foundation that I'm testing, and I didn't want to I've been trying a lot of formulas on this face recently, and that's the one I trust the least. So I didn't. I haven't used it like on camera or worn it out yet, but I have to because of Influencer, I have to. Sally Hansen is releasing a friend's line of nail polish, and I should have known that because I remember answering nail polish questions on Influencer about friends. I did not get this. It's interesting. Now that I'm going through trend mood, I now feel like I'm seeing all the things I've ever taken for surveys on Influencer. Like this is like what I'm seeing. I think Makeup Revolution has like kind of killed Friends as a as a IP in the beauty space, because like I see that and I was like, oh, not Makeup Revolution making nail polish. But it's not them, it's Sally Hansen. And Sally Hansen has now suffered by the hands of Makeup Revolution. They didn't know that. They probably didn't think that would be a thing that anyone would think, but I do. What do you think? Did you think that? That's what I thought immediately. We're getting a lot of drugstore here. L'Oreal is releasing the Infallible up to 24-hour fresh wear soft matte long wear bronzer. Why does everything have to have 7,000 words in the title? Can it just be like, it's the L'Oreal bronzer? I understand that they have like a big range and they need to diversify the range. Like it's like they can have a bronzer over here and a bronzer over there. They're different formulas, but I gotta be honest, this doesn't look that bad. Like it doesn't look bad. I don't need a bronzer from L'Oreal, but if it lives up to all those promises, which I would not be the person to look at to test that, I mean, I could see it being pretty good. Also, they have a decent shade range. There are 8 shades. They do seem to. This seems like it's not a terrible bronzer range, and it is really hard to find deep dark bronzes like that. So, L'Oreal, I'm not mad. I'm not your target market, but I'm not mad. I wouldn't mind watching someone else review this. I think that this could be potentially a nice product. I feel like luxury brands and mid-range brands are always releasing a bronzer. I feel like I haven't seen a drugstore brand like launch a new bronzer in a while. So I guess this is kind of exciting. I'm not mad. Jojo Siwa collaborated with Hipdot. I assume this is gonna be do well. I don't know much about Jojo Siwa, other than that she too is in the Alphabet Mafia. It's really bright. It's fun. It's not makeup for, again, just like the Infallible bronzer light dwit dot to do. This Jojo Siwa Hipdot collection is also not for me. I don't really want to read it because it's clearly Jojo Siwa's market is children, and this looks like makeup that children would want to wear, but also I think an adult who has an affinity for color would enjoy. I know nothing about Hipdot's formula. I know they keep putting out product, but I don't think I've literally seen anyone review it. But I have only ever seen people in new makeup releases like talk about it, and always the result always seems to be like, okay. So I guess that's kind of where I'm landing on this. Hipdot only collaborates with people, which it feels like there's some kind of makeup deep dive to be found there. It isn't going to be me. Someone put smoky glow on the case to figure out what they are doing. Does one approach Hipdot, or does Hipdot approach you for collaboration? Or do they just wait? I don't know. But I want to see I want to see Jojo thrive. And if Jojo's thriving, then I'm happy for her. Available now, a limited edition Dior Forever Natural Bronze. I was curious. I was talking in this part, I think that I was under the impression that it only comes in one shade. I was wrong. It comes in 2. I will be putting both images of both shades on the screen for you for this portion of the video. You can decide how different they look for yourself. I stand by what I said. It might as well have been one shade. Dioriviera bronzer. That's all. Dior Forever Natural Bronze Dioriviera bronzer. Can we just call it bronzer? I'm getting tired. My voice is getting weak saying these names. Okay. There's also a lip glow oil. This only based on what I see on Trend Mood. So I might be speaking out of line. But no, it's one shade. And it's for me. It's for me and I'm fair. You're like, no. Go get the L'Oreal one. Don't buy the Christian Dior one. I mean, I'm sure this formula is beautiful. But don't buy this. Not when L'Oreal's given us 8 shades. Don't buy this. Don't buy this. I have no time for this. Let's move along. What is this? No. Okay, what? Okay. Huda is releasing the Color Block Obsessions palette. Okay, there are 2 palettes. Oh, okay. Actually, now I'm reading this, I'm feeling differently. But when you see the picture, your reaction is like, what? It's like it's an assault to the eyes. Okay, 2 palettes with mattes, metallics, dazzling baked flake shadows, and debossed water-activated cake liners. $29 each. Now, I was gonna say incorrectly I was dismissing this. Then I read it. I still hate it, but I am curious about this flaky formula. That's where Huda said, "Who do you think I am? I'm gonna make you stop and think about this." Now, that's exciting. I love a flaky eyeshadow formula. It's a love of mine. I think they look so fun on the eyes. I really like that. They're normally really high impact. So I am curious, but they are mostly mattes. Oh, okay. So there are, in each palette, there is one split pan. And I initially incorrectly thought, after reading this, that was the cake liner. But no, the cake liner is marked with an embossing that says cake liner on it. And it is not the split pan. And so I hate split pan eyeshadow. I don't like it. The cake liner, I don't mind as so much, but I also just don't like cake liner. But I do often see cake liner packaged in such a fashion. I'm so confused. It's a lot. The color story on the packaging is showing you what it is. There's a purple orange palette, and there is a blue green yellow palette. And within those palettes, it is those colors and only those colors. So as someone who thinks they have an affinity for brights, but knows that they don't, this all is like, it's an assault to the eyes. However, but okay, so also they have swatches of all of the things. I don't see anything different formula wise in the swatches of this flaky baked formula, but I could be wrong. I could see it in person and feel so differently, but for Huda, this is a wild release. And I commend the brand for doing something that feels really wild. And I know that they've done these really colorful 9-pan palettes, but this feels particularly wild. It reminds me of tracksuits, windbreakers from the 90s. It's very windbreakers from the 90s. If you are old enough to know what I'm talking about. That's the color stories here. And well, I think that wearing windbreakers from the 90s right now is very fun, the swish of it all, but I don't want it on my face. If I had one of these in my possession, I would look at it and go, I don't know what to do with that. And then I would never use it. Anyway, that's a long way to say I hate color. Okay, so there's limited edition leather packaging for the Le Cushion Encre de Peau. How many shades did this come in? I understand that this is like just limited edition packaging, which is cute. I didn't know YSL had a cushion foundation. Now I want to try it. And I kind of want it in this packaging. I'm not going to run out and get it. Like, that's not the journey here. That's not where we're landing. I'm just telling you that now that I know. But the packaging is cute. But YSL doesn't have the worst shade range usually. But there is something about a cushion foundation that brands are like, we don't have to make more than two colors, light and light. So I'm unclear about this in the shade range of it. But there is certainly something happening here that's very pleasing to the eyes. It's like we went from the worst thing I've seen all day to something I was like, yeah, I do like that. So I think it's just the dichotomy of what I'm witnessing in the scroll here. So I don't know where to land on this, but we'll talk about it. Huda Cosmetics is releasing the Dragon Fruit collection, which there's a Dragon Fruit eyeshadow palette with 13 shades in it. One glitter iridescent multichrome. Those are my favorite formulas from Cleona. One vibrant multichrome. 2 sparkle shadows. I love their sparkles. 2 duochromes. 3 metallics. 4 velvet satins. Interesting. I have not tried all of their formulas. I'm familiar with their multichromes. I have many of their multichromes. There's also nail polishes, and there's also shifting highlighters. I guess here's where I land. If you've never tried Cleona and you wanted to like get a pretty good deal on like a bulk situation, I think this is a good way to do it, assuming that you like the colors that are in here. Because I do like Cleona is like one of those brands that I think that it's so expensive that it really off-puts people from trying it, unless you're like someone who really likes indie shadows and is willing to fork up the money to experience a Cleona shade. So I think like in that way that this eyeshadow palette is pretty, it's cute. It's really cute. I like the packaging too. I think it's making me feel, and I think if I didn't already have so many Cleona shades, I would feel more excited about this. I do want to say, if as a palette, I am unsure what I would do to use these all in one cohesive look. I like mattes. I know it's like tradish to just be like mattes and shimmers. I don't mind an all shimmer look, but I don't know about this. I don't know about this. The color story makes me feel like I'm overwhelmed. I have visions of this doing really well because I know that Cleona hasn't released an eyeshadow palette in a while. They had the paleo palette a while ago that did really well. I wasn't part of that culture. I wasn't like in the scene at that time, but I understand that this is like definitely something that I could see a lot of people being very interested in. But it's not something I need. The nail polishes can miss me. It's all good. We're all good. We're moving right along. Stile's out here still trying with those glitter and glow. That's so sad. There's also eyeliners. Now, I've heard really great things about their eyeliners. Their eyeliners sold really well. It was literally the only Stile product that we sold in my store at Sephora. Like, it was the last remaining item that Stile sold in stores at my Sephora. Now, it's possible that Stile did well enough in other stores where they had a whole display, but at my Sephora, we only had the eyeliner. So there could be something to be said for these eyeliner duos. Those could be fun, but not the shimmer and glow. Stile, try harder. Do something different. Tom Ford, let me yell at you for a fucking second. You released, what is it called? The Soleil Sheer Highlighting Duo. A highlighting duo for the cheeks, eyes, and face to help you achieve glowing skin. And it comes in what looks like a bronzing shade that is lighter than my skin tone, and a blush shade that is also lighter than my skin tone. You are saying it's a face and eye product because you want people with deeper complexions to think that they can buy this and use this on their eyes. And I'm not buying it because they're not going to be able to use this on their face. I'm tired. I'm tired. Kimchi Chic Beauty released some colorful lipsticks if you're into that. Can't speak to the quality of those, but I didn't really care for anything I have tried from Kimchi Chic Beauty. But, at least I don't have to yell about shade range because this is just truly a wild shade range. And sometimes people like to buy products like these to mix their own stuff. So if that's something you're into, I think this would be potentially something that you'd be into. So Sigma Beauty released the new mod collection, which there's like a myriad of products that come in yet. But there is an eyeshadow palette, which actually is very beautiful. I'm so excited to be talking about something that I don't hate. I don't hate it. I love this. I love this. I love that we are like doing dark shades for summer. And because like normally I feel like we save those for autumn. We save those for fall. But I do feel like brands are doing we're doing a dark side in summer and I'm here for it. Like, are we doing black lipstick this summer? I'm ready. I'm into it. But anyway, this is really pretty. I don't think it's an eyeshadow palette that I would like need or like want to try or want to review. However, I've heard Sigma's been turned the beat around with these formulas. So I'm like, I am waiting for Sigma to release the palette that is for me. And I actually really like the look of the Cinderella palette. It's like not something I need though. The thing is, like, eyeshadow is like a really tough sell for me anymore. Like I have to be really into it. I have to be like really into it to want to buy an eyeshadow palette. My eyeshadow palette drawer is full. So it's like, what else can I put in there that isn't already in there? And that's what it really boils down to. But this could be maybe a duping the vibes, make our own little sultry summer palette. It's cute. It's cute enough. I think we could have fun duping this out. I am nothing if I'm not a simp for blush. Mr. Many MUA released a blush palette, which is a no-no for me. It's a no-no for me. It's a no. Don't you do that, Tom. Don't you, because I think it's a good idea. But I do not need this. However, this blush palette, I think it's like really pretty. And I'm into it, but I won't buy it. If you're new to my channel, I've said this so many times. So if you if you're not new to my channel, you already know this. But if you are new, I don't believe in face palettes anymore. I find myself more so reaching for things that come in single compacts because whenever I think of a face palette, I just forget. And I am better now that my face palettes live in the same drawer as my single blushes. But even then, I am not reaching for them more than my single. So like, and also bringing 6 new blushes. Okay, I just brought 4 new brushes. I just brought 4 new blushes into my collection, but to bring 6 new blushes into my collection, it's like a lot of blushes. But I think this blush palette is beautiful. I don't really give a rat's ass about the eyeshadow palette. It's pretty. It's like a pretty neutral palette. It's pretty. It's pretty. But it's like, I don't need that. But the blush palette has my heart singing a little bit. It has my heart singing a little bit. And I've heard nothing but good things about Manny's blush formula. I really wish that he would consider putting them in compacts as opposed to this. And I'm sure this is actually a more cost-effective way for him to sell his blushes, as well as a more cost-effective way for us to buy the blushes. However, or sell pro pans. I'm a big proponent if sell pro pans and singles. Although I probably wouldn't buy a pro pan blush because it's just going to end it just like my face palettes. I'm never going to get to it. Okay. Hailey Bieber has a skincare line. I don't care. I made it back to the Trixie sticks. I'm going to go check some other Instagram profiles out to see if I see anything worth mentioning. Okay, so inspired Sigil, Tammy, Tanuka. I forget what order to say it, but they come up every now and then on my channel. And it looks like they are releasing an eyeshadow set called Barkin to the Horizon. And it's pretty. It's pretty. Ooh. Okay, that's cute. I like this. This is cute. I'm not sure what any of it means. I'm sure there's like there's something there that I'm not quite understanding what this is in reference to. But the shades are really pretty. The shades are really pretty. I am interested in this brand. They sell on Etsy. They also have their own website. The website's in Russian. I'm not sure how I'm not sure how all of that works, but this is really pretty. Tender Sand Gazelle palette from Tammy Tanuka. Oh, it's so pretty. It comes in 2 sizes. They had a peacock palette that I talked about before, and it also came in 2 sizes. Brilliant, joyous, incredible. I love the 2 size thing. This is cute. I don't know. I might want that, but it's okay. I'm moving along. They're doing a lot. They came up again. What's this palette? What's this collection? The Silken Gold. It's so pretty. Okay, you know what? I have adrenaline pumping through my veins like I haven't in a while. Like the anger filled me and it's sustained my loves. So I think it's time for me to go. If you are new to my channel and you enjoyed being critical and sassy with me today, I would love to have you subscribe. If you made it all the way here, you need to subscribe. Like where you didn't like that? I mean, how'd you get here? How'd you get all the way to the end of this video if you didn't like it? Like, how did you do that? It's a real question I have for you. Make sure you like this video and share it with a friend if you enjoyed it, or share it with multiple friends, or I don't know, do whatever you need to do to share it. But please share if you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to hear more from me, I'm also on a podcast called Recollect with my friend Tiffany. We talk about music. It's fun. It's linked down below. Also, you can find this video and a select back catalog of my videos and all of my future videos going forward on Spotify video podcasts. That detailed stuff will be linked down below, as well as my Instagram. I think I'm okay. Okay. Just remember to follow your host. How do you find me? Thank you so much for watching the video today. I will see you in my next video. Bye. Bye.